What up, folks? We're going to try something new again tonight. Hold on. Yeah, we'll try something new again tonight. A Cretin reads originals. I found some of my old files of stories that I wrote way back. This is from 2012, so 12 years ago. I had an idea that I might write a comic, even though I can't draw shit and I don't know anyone who can draw shit. Or maybe it could be an episodic kind of show, which I don't have the budget to make a show, and I don't know anyone who to make a show with. Maybe a short film. Nonetheless, this will be the first installment. If y'all like it, might be the last installment. But I thought I would do a Cretin Reads Originals because this is my original. As you all know, if you come here before, I usually just rip off the fucking dome, off the headpiece. I have a thought of an idea and I just run with it and it goes off the tracks and then demented fucking ramblings and pointless bullshit. Just me sitting around drinking beers and either cooking or just sitting on my ass telling stories or cutting my hair or sometimes a quick one before I lay down. This is an actual story I had for a comic book idea or possibly a show. Written down. I'm going to read it word for word. I'm not going to spoil it for you up front. We'll cover it, well, I'll cover it at the end of what the idea process was behind it. It's called Funtime and Babygirl. This was an idea in 2012, so 12 years ago. This being 2024, I believe today is the 26th of March, 2024. Let's get into it. This is Funtime and Babygirl, as it says here, issue 1. Even though it didn't go anywhere past that, I never wrote anything to follow it up. I might do voices, I probably won't. It's not Audible, it's not fucking Kindle or whatever the fuck pretend books you look at as to avoid actually turning pages. I don't judge. I'm from a book generation where we actually used our biceps and our biceps and our forceps, our biceps and our forearms to hold shit up and hold them open and then turn pages. Neither here nor there. Here we go. And this is how it starts. Funtime and Babygirl, issue 1. I'll get the fucking brush cleared when I get the fucking brush cleared, cunt. Let me back up real quick. There are going to be words you're not going to like in here. There are slang terms for special needs, slang terms for the homosexual society. This is 2012. I was a younger man. I was writing a character. I was writing a story. These aren't my personal real life views, but for the character, this is the shit. And there's a C word. You just heard it. And it might come back again. If you don't like words like these, turn it off now. Go away. Find something else. And with that, take 2, because I don't do edits. Funtime and Babygirl, issue 1. And we start. I'll get the fucking brush cleared when I get the fucking brush cleared, cunt. Quentin thought as he read the text. Finish yard tonight? Frowny face emoji. Of course, dear. Heading to Home and Hearth to get some tools. Love you, he wrote back, choking down his anger. Why the fuck not? He only worked 10 hours today. Why not go home and clear a fucking yard on top of that? On top of a foreman that had no fucking clue how to lead. On top of co-workers that had no fucking clue how to pull their own. On top of the fact that it was 100 plus fucking degrees and he had no AC. On top of, fuck! He screamed as he inched along the express lane. The lawn is going to die. It's been a fucking 100 degrees for 2 months now. Why the fuck is this bitch tripping on a couple bushes? Quentin fumed as he slowly neared H&H, Home and Hearth. Jesus. Now before you start thinking, God, this guy is an asshole, you should know one simple thing. This guy is more Jesus than Jesus. He has never raised his fist in anger or defense. He has taken ass beating after ass beating after ass beating and never fought back. Women have left him for being too passive. Job opportunities have passed him because he wasn't assertive. He looks in the mirror and apologizes. Meet Quentin Thomas Anderson. Meet the loneliest, most miserable, saddest motherfucker to ever draw a breath. He makes a decent wage, enjoys a decent home, his car sucks, but his daughter loves him. He assumes his wife is fucking around, but at this point, he isn't attracted to nor wants her. It's cheaper to keep her. He wants more, but that shit ain't gonna happen. And now he's at the hardware store. Quentin sits listening to the weather on the oldie station. Another scorcher, folks. I'd like to say it's going to break, but I'd also like to say I have the winning lotto numbers. The weatherman laughed as Quentin sighs, turns the car off, takes his keys, and slowly, sadly walks into H&H. Pause. H&H, Home and Hearth, is like Home Depot. You'll hear like Allmart is like Walmart. I changed names of shit like Wild Turkey to Mild Turkey because if this would ever actually got made, I didn't want to get sued for copyright, shit like that. So if shit sounds familiar, it's meant to. Now back to the story. We're at Home and Hearth. He's walking in sadly and slowly. Quentin spot shops several gas and electric brush clearing devices, each price tag greater than the last. His head hangs in defeat. Can I help you, sir? I don't do women voices. Can I help you, sir? An attractive 18-something asks. I need to clear some bushes, but I don't have clear some bushes money. Do you have any? That's not a problem, sir. Follow me. The girl snapped with disdain the girl snapped with disdain as she led Quentin to the hand tools. Maybe you'll find something here that will help. She huffed and walked away. Maybe I will, bitch. Quentin scoffed under his breath as she walked away. He began to peruse the various yard care implements, weighing his options. No spur-of-the-moment buys. Bing! His text alert sounded. Do you plan on coming home tonight? How effing hard is it to buy a weed whacker? My parents are here. Quentin read the text. Quentin read that as his gaze fell upon a single $5 simple machete. He touched her. So simple, so delicate, so precise. He plucked her from the shelf and stood mesmerized at her sheen. He felt something he hadn't felt in almost a decade. He felt alive. Baby girl, he gasped as he held her there as if she would sprout wings and take flight. I'm here, baby girl, he whispered as a single tear ran down his cheek. He had found the one he loved. He had found baby girl. He wiped the tear away and hardened up. Quentin grabbed baby girl, a pair of plain brown all-purpose gloves, basically jerseys, a pair of pruning shears, and strolled toward the checkout counter. A hint of a smile crossed his face as he admired the shine of the machete. She was beautiful. He arrived at the checkout and stood patiently behind a morbidly obese couple purchasing a deluxe grill smoker. They eyed Quentin up and down as he smiled cordially and nodded a polite hello. The gesture wasn't returned as the two sacks of fat turned their snouts up and put their backs to him. Well, fuck you then, diabetes, Quentin thought as his grip tightened on baby girl's handle. He could feel the vibration of his anger coursing through the blade, yet he held his sheepish smile and waited even more patiently as the ton of human waste that had the audacity to look down on him argued and bickered with the poor salesgirl over the price of the grill smoker. Allmart price matches their competition. I guess we should have gone to Allmart. This is bullshit, the female shitbag complained, waving a stubby hot dog-esque finger in the salesgirl's face. I'm sorry, ma'am, but that isn't our policy, and Allmart doesn't offer this model. That should be probably, make. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, ma'am, but that isn't our policy, and Allmart doesn't offer this model, so I couldn't help you even if we did price match, the girl apologized. Just ring it up. We don't have time for this shit, Mr. Sweatpants snorted as he slammed his platinum card down. Cheap fucker. Quentin just stood there calmly, feeling a combination of pity and empathy for the poor salesgirl. He was used to dealing with the fucking idiots in every aspect of his life. Wife, in-laws, employers, fellow employees, fat fucks like these two, neighbors, fucking the world. He could feel the blood pounding in his hand now as his grip further tightened on baby girl. Ow. A sultry voice purred softly. Quentin looked side to side, trying to locate the source of the voice. No one. Must be hearing shit. He was getting burnt out working 6 days a week at a job he hated, and then going home to a bitch he hated times 3 fucking squared. Next, sir, the salesgirl said as he snapped back into the moment. You're next, sir, she said again with a beautiful smile as Shamu and Orca waddled off with their completely undeserved grill and smoker. Sorry, I spaced off for a second. Quentin smirked as he put the shears, gloves, and finally Babygirl on the counter. How are you today, sir? The salesgirl asked as if she really cared, not like the other 75 times she said it in an hour. Good. Looks like I'm doing better than you. Quentin joked as he nodded toward the slops of shit sliming out the door. The salesgirl smiled, and her eyes lit up slightly, as if to say, thank you. She began to ring up his purchases. He smiled back. $21.57 if that's everything, sir, she said. Wait, this too. Quentin smiled as he grabbed a roll of black electrical tape from the impulse buy wall. That makes it $24.19, she said as Quentin handed her his card. Debit or credit? She asked. Debit, please, thanks. He replied as he entered his PIN. She bagged his goods and handed him his receipt. Have a great night, sir, she said as Quentin began to walk away. Then something made him turn and grab her hand with his free hand. I think I will, he smiled dementedly. Just know in your heart that if those 2 worthless turds wake up tomorrow, they'll still have to be 2 miserable fat fucks that will never be happy. You are an amazing girl inside and out. Let that be your blanket tonight. He let her hand go and walked out head high and shoulders back, at least until he got to his car door. What the fuck was that? He thought as he laid the bag on the passenger seat and climbed behind the wheel. He had never had the balls to talk to a girl that pretty, let alone grab her hand. He started the car and rolled out, cheeks blushed and full of pride. Hold on. Quentin parks by the curb of his 4-bedroom, 2-bath, single-level 70s style home. He would have parked in the driveway had his in-laws not taken his space. He sits quietly staring at the steering wheel. He sighs long and hard, rubs his temples, and removes his keys. He grabs his bag of lawn care tools and enters the side gate to his backyard, doing his best to not be detected. He can see the wife and in-laws through the kitchen window as he cuts a beeline to his storage/work shed. Looking over his shoulder, he slowly, silently opens the shed door and places the bag on the counter in front of the single window that faces the back fence. Genius design. He removes Babygirl and lays her on the counter next to the bag. The full moon filters in through the window and sparkles off her naked beauty. Quentin smiles. Good night, baby. He turns and leaves the shed, sneaking back across the yard into his shitbox vehicle. He opens and slams the car door for effect and begins to walk toward the front door. The front door swings open and a backlit silhouette stands waiting, hands on hips. About time. This is supposed to be a angry whisper. But I've got a shitty mic, so. About time. Get lost, you fucking retard. I texted you. Mom and Dad are here. Get the fuck in here. She whisper scolded as he walked in the door, head down. I hurried as fast as I could. The store was busy. Traffic. I'm here now. I'm sorry. Quentin stammered as his asshole seized up. She was only 125 pounds, but she brought 400 pounds of hate to the table. Right. Just get the fuck in there and say hi. Absolutely worthless. She spat as she pushed Quentin toward the kitchen. Frank? Janet? Nice to see you. How have you been? Quentin asked as sincerely as a man can ask people that he abhors or hates. Hungry, Frank rebutted. Sheila insisted we wait to eat until you got home. She's too good to you. Why are you worried about a couple bushes? Why don't you get a couple day workers? They'll do it for a case of cerveza. Frank mocked in stereotypical Spanglish. It's nothing I can't handle. Sheila, honey, you didn't have to wait. Please, everyone, eat. Quentin said, waving his hand across the table as he sat down and began to fill his plate with pasta and salad. What do you see in him? Janet scoffed, purposely loud enough for Quentin to hear as she topped her glass off from the box of wine on the counter. A mortgage payment. Sheila shot back as she glared at Quentin. Well, I can handle that if that's all, honey. I can handle that if that's all, honey. Frank snarked as he poured himself another double of mild turkey, Quentin's mild turkey. Quentin simply began to eat his under-seasoned, bland as driftwood spaghetti. Honey, where's Samantha? Quentin asked as he realized his daughter wasn't present. She's at Kylie's. Why do you care? Sheila wine-slurred back. Just wondering where my daughter is, sweetheart. That's all. Quentin sputtered and returned to eating his stank-ass dinner. Yeah, your daughter. Sheila laughed and poured another glass of wine. Quentin's head dipped as he filled his lungs and waited for the rage to pass. He could feel sweat beading on his forehead. You don't have to take this shit, baby. The sultry voice from the tool store purred. Quentin dropped his fork as his eyes darted around the room. What's wrong with you, idiot? Sheila sneered as Quentin jumped from his chair. Excuse yourself and go to the bathroom so we can talk, the voice whispered in Quentin's ear. I'm not feeling well. Please excuse me, Quentin mumbled as he rushed to the bathroom and locked the door. Sheila and her folks just shrugged and mocked and laughed. Someone called him a fag just before the door closed. Quentin turned on the sink and splashed water on his face. Holy shit, I'm having an aneurysm. Finally. Thank you, Jesus. Not quite, baby. You're having an awakening, a moment of clarity. Now listen to me. Clean yourself up, get yourself straight, and come get me. We're going out tonight, the voice softly said. What the fuck is going on? Quentin gasped as he stared at himself in the mirror. I'm fucking losing it. That's the idea, baby. Lose it with me. That's why I'm here, she cooed. Me who? Quentin sighed as he buried his face in a hand towel. Me who? Several seconds of silence passed as Quentin gently sobbed into the towel. He slowly pulled his face away and looked in the mirror. Me, you know, baby girl. Come get me and we'll go have some fun. You could use some fun, right? A little fun time? I'm waiting, sweetheart. She giggled as Quentin's jaw dropped. No fucking way, he shuddered. Why not, baby? Can't accept that someone loves you and wants you to see. Shut! Why not, baby? Can't accept that someone loves you and wants to see you happy? It's a new day, Mr. Man. Come get me. I'm coming out there only to prove that I'm not losing it, only to prove that I'm not crazy. Quentin tried to reassure himself. Whatever it takes, handsome. Just get out of here, she teased. Quentin rushed from the bathroom, past the three drunks in the kitchen, and out the back. Jesus Christ, give me a second, please. Get a beverage. Getting a little dry. Quentin rushed from the bathroom, past the three drunks in the kitchen, and out the backyard door. Fuck! Where is he going? Frank slurred from his glass. Who gives a fuck? Sheila and Janet sang in unison and began to laugh like a couple drunken bums. Quentin throws the shed door open, and his gaze falls upon Babygirl, still bathed in the moonlight. All right, I'm clearly having a nervous breakdown. Say something now, he challenged as he stared at the blade. Several seconds pass, and he begins to feel like an asshole. Nothing. Just the crickets and him. Fuck! He sighs and turns to leave the shed, preparing for the shitstorm that awaits in the kitchen. Where are you going, baby? Babygirl giggles. I'm just playing. Come get me. Quentin turns, enters the shed, and picks Babygirl up. This can't be real. It's as real as you want it to be. You can touch me. You can hold me. You control me. How much more real do you need, Q? Let's... Look, let's just get out of here, okay? Sure. Quentin stammers as he turns with Babygirl in his hand. Excuse me. Hold on, sweetheart. You're not going to take me out naked, are you? Babygirl asked. What do you mean? Quentin said as he... Oh. Got lost. What do you mean? Quentin asked, brows furrowed. I'd look pretty hot in a little black dress, don't you think? I'm not following. The tape, silly. Wrap my handle and grab those gloves. Every woman's crazy about a sharp-dressed man, Babygirl said with a sassy tone. Of course. I'm sorry, Quentin said as he wrapped the handle. That's another thing, big man. You're done apologizing. You're an intelligent, considerate, loving, underappreciated, beautiful man. Start owning it, she said. Thank you, Mama. I will, Quentin said as he held her eye level, parallel to the ground, and admired her gleam in the moonlight. For the first time in his life, he felt absolutely nothing. No anger, no terror, no hate, no joy, no frustration, nothing. A perfect moment. Peace of mind, body, and soul. She was so beautiful and loving that the world simply melted away. Two souls with a single purpose, and they would make everything right. Together. Unadulterated love. Let's roll, Papa. Her voice broke unevenly. This was her man, and she was his woman. His love evident in his face, in his warm grasp. I think we're ready. Fuck yes, we are. Quentin smirked and turned toward the kitchen window, watching the three spooges sloshing the night away. I'm ready. Not them, baby. Who will the police come after first? And do they deserve your rage? Fuck them. They aren't worth your time. Let's go play. I'm hungry anyway. Babygirl reasoned. You're right. Let's go. Quentin sighed as he imagined himself disemboweling the three worthless fucks littering his kitchen. Thank your God, cunts, he whispered, lowering Babygirl to waist level and exiting the yard. He quickly returned to his car. The streetlights streamed over Quentin's shitbox as he rolled aimlessly through the city streets. Babygirl lay seductively across the passenger seat. Quentin spoke. What's the plan, baby? Why don't you grab a six-pack? My man's had a hard day. I want you to wind down. You want me to drink? That bitch shits her pants if I even mention the fact that I like a beer. Doesn't matter that she's a fucking alcoholic. Do I look like her, baby? Babygirl giggled. Get a six. Do it for me. For you. Quentin smiled as he stopped at a liquor store, kissed her metal, and went in to buy his first six in months. Ding, ding. The doorbell chimed as Quentin walked in. He could see a clearly homeless and methed out mid-30s piece of shit causing a commotion at the checkout counter. Later for that shit, though. His girlfriend wants him drunk. He walked over to the beer cooler as the meth head continued to badger and beleaguer the cashier. Quentin grabbed a six of shifty frozen dark. The dark that shifts the night just right. Not great, but not bad. Affordable. Quentin approaches the checkout where Cracky Fuck is still begging like a bitch. Come on, man. Y'all can write off $1 beer like that bitch just got dropped. Why y'all so stingy? Fuck, he begged. Do I have to call the cops? Get the fuck out of here. Bring money or stay the fuck out. The perturbed clerk insisted, pointing at the door. Quentin reaches the counter and attempts to put his shifty up. The meth head brushes against him. What the fuck? Your eyes don't work, bitch? The meth head growls. Excuse me. Quentin smiles and begins his transaction with the liquor salesman. Oh, now I don't even exist, bitch? Fuck you! The meth head slurs as he pushes Quentin. Quentin budges an inch or two, but before he can respond, a liquor store employee pushes the meth head out the door. Sorry, sir, we get all kinds in here. $3.53. The clerk smiled. Don't worry about it. No harm. Quentin replied as his hate bubbled below the surface. Come again, the clerk said as Quentin walked back to his shipbox, cracked a shifty, and watched the meth head stumble into the shadows. Him? Quentin asked Babygirl. Him, she laughed. Look. Or him, look. Him, she giggled, laughed. Him, she laughed. Him, looks delicious. Feed me, baby. Quentin slowly crisscrossed the streets and parking lots, watching the meth head stagger down the street. Waiting. Fucking waiting. Find a spot, bitch! Quentin yells into his window. Patience, baby. It's more rewarding when it's earned. How they say in Rocky Horror, anticipation. Babygirl's voice washed over Quentin's brain. You're right. Patience. Quentin sighed as he watched the meth head stumble into a deserted building and parked his shitbox. He's in there, Mama. He ain't going nowhere. Now, it's time you had some fun, Babygirl says as Quentin slides on his gloves and scoops her up off the seat. Ooh, that feels nice. Squeeze me. Like this, baby? Quentin sighs in ecstasy as he nears the door to the abandoned building. God, yes, Babygirl moans. Ready, baby? Ready for a little fun? Some fun time? More than you know, Quentin murmurs as he kicks in the door and locates the meth head sitting in the corner, hitting a pipe. The meth head drops his pipe in shock. Who the fuck are you? What the fuck do you want? Answer him, baby. Babygirl purrs. It's fun time! Time to have some fun, fucker! The meth head scrambles back into the corner. This is where you start to beg. Funtime whispers as he approaches the meth head. End of issue. And if you didn't catch at the end there, he's no longer Quentin. Funtime whispers as he approaches the meth head. Because that's the end of that issue. Was be a cliffhanger. If there was other issues or other episodes or anything down the road, it would have picked up from there. Where Quentin would still be Quentin in the real world, but when he had Babygirl, he became Funtime. And Funtime would eventually go from killing meth heads to kind of a Punisher, Ghost Rider, kind of punishing the ones who deserved it. He would have gone after like sex offenders on the register. You don't have the internet back then. He would have looked up sex offenders. Well, it would have been all kinds of shitheads. Sex offenders, wife beaters, adulterers, people who don't signal, Karens, shitheads that don't put their cards back and leave them in the fucking driveway to hit my truck. Alright, Jesus people who bother you on the weekend. All the kinds of shit that should be taken out of society to begin with, he would have handled. And notice I didn't say anything about the goddamn LGBTQ, LMNOG plus 27s. As long as they're good people, they fucking... But if they're assholes, that would have tiptoed into hate crimes, because even though they're shitheads, they would have probably still pulled that card. But they'd be dead, so they wouldn't have any cards to pull. But that was the story of the first one, where he would eventually got to a point where he was killing every piece of shit on the planet. And you're like, well, the cops would have eventually caught him. Nah, I'm writing the story. This ain't fucking, they had 3 fucking Boondock Saints. They know who the fuck those guys are. So if they can get away with it, Funtime can get away with it, or Quentin. And that was the first and only issue of In Process, asshole. Of shit that I actually wrote. That's from 2012, and didn't do anything with it, so I thought, well, it's gonna fucking just go nowhere and rot. I'll at least offer it to you in story form. I'm sorry if I read fast, or I don't like reading in public or reading out loud, even when I'm alone. So slow it down a little bit if you have to, or I'm turning this off now because I'm done with it. But yeah, that was going to be he was going to turn into an anti-hero. At that point, that guy was just a shitty homeless meth head that bumped into him. I hadn't really thought past that. I was like, well, he can't just go around fucking with people who annoy him mildly, but he could, but he's not. He's going to actually use his power for good. Turn off, fucker. And, well, that's pretty much it. It's not a Cretin. It's not a Cretin in the kitchen because I'm not going to cook anything at the moment. It's not a Cretin after dark because I'm not telling you personal stories. That was a Cretin reads originals. I was going to say original shit, but I can't put that in the title or they'll tell me to fuck off. I got a couple, 2 or 3 more stories that I started and never finished. That actually has a finish because it's meant to go on, but it didn't. I got other stories that I did that I think are pretty fucking good. If you like this, you'd like them. About the same time period, the early 2010s, and one from way back in boot camp from the late 90s. That one's just straight up horror. If you guys would like, and gals, the 2 of you that show up, would like more shit read, and the other shit's on paper, I'd be more than happy to share those with you. Aside from that, if I can get this fucking computer to turn the fuck off, shut down, you cocksuck. Excuse me. Nonetheless, this thing's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna fucking fling it out in the middle of the street and then go do a goddamn elbow drop. There it goes. No. No. Yes. Yes. What? Fuck this. Sorry. And you know I don't do fucking edits, so that's gonna be there. It was a short one tonight, folks. Almost done with this beverage. Gonna get another one. Make me some stuff for bean burritos. Back itches. Creepy ass cracker shirt. Gotta love that. Get my drawers out my butt. Adjust the boys. As always, we're at the end. What are you doing, you fuck? You're a fucking asshole. As always, with respect, with love, I'm out. I'll see you again soon with either one of the hair things or something. I gotta lean with different angle of fucking camera I'm not used to. Peace, folk.